With the trade deadline quickly approaching, Toronto Maple Leafs fans are wondering, is Scott Laughton the perfect name to strengthen the team in the final stretch of the season? When Toronto faced the Philadelphia Flyers this week, many focus less on the game itself and more on the potential for a trade with the Flyers, who sit in 27th place and are in the middle of a rebuild. And at the top of that list of potential acquisitions is Laughton. But what makes Laughton so appealing to the Leafs? While he's not one of the most imposing players in terms of size, standing at 6 feet 1 inch and weighing 190 pounds, Laughton stands out for his grit, versatility, and, above all, his character. Born in Oakville, just outside of Toronto, Laughton has deep roots in the area and made his mark in the NHL after being selected by the Flyers 20th overall in the 2012 draft. He grew up in the Oshawa General System, a club that helped shape him both as a player and as a person. For the Leafs, who are eager to bolster their forward lines, especially at center, Laughton seems to fit as a key piece. His versatility makes him valuable, as he can play both center and wing, and his intensity and commitment would mesh perfectly with Toronto's style of play. Not to mention the cost factor, as he has a relatively affordable $3 million contract, which could be a great value, especially if the Leafs are able to retain him beyond 2026. But could this trade actually happen? Let's break down the pros and cons, because there are many factors at play. Laughton brings the versatility the Leafs are looking for. While he's mostly played wing, his ability to center could be the key to further strengthening the team's attack. Imagine a line with Max Domi on the wing and Laughton at center. This would create a strong combination of offensive depth and resilience. Furthermore, the injuries that have plagued Toronto this season highlight the importance of such flexibility to ensure a competitive team come playoff time. Another positive is that Laughton wouldn't just be a short-term rental. With his contract running through 2026 and a reasonable impact on the salary cap, he could be an important piece not just now, but also in the future. Adding Laughton could bring depth to the team and be one of the key factors in making the Leafs an even more formidable force in the Eastern Conference. Of course, Laughton is not perfect. While he's quite useful on the front lines, his face-off numbers in recent years have been below average. He's also had some struggles in the defensive aspect, which could be a concern for a team that seeks excellence in all areas of the game. But with experienced players around him, such as Domi and McMahon, could those flaws be corrected? Many believe so. Another significant obstacle for Toronto will be the price. As Kevin Kurz from The Athletic pointed out, the Flyers are not eager to part with Laughton easily. The team has plans to build around young talents like rookie Matvei Michkov, and Laughton is considered a vital part of that rebuild. Therefore, for Toronto to bring Laughton into their fold, it would take a substantial offer, potentially involving current roster players. But is Toronto willing to pay that price? Or would a trade for a different player be more beneficial? While Scott Laughton is a perfect fit for the Leafs, it seems that the trade will be difficult to pull off. While the interest is clear, especially from Toronto's side, the Flyers are in a position where they don't want to part with such an important player in their future rebuild. This means that, even though Laughton makes sense for the Leafs, the team will likely have to wait until next season or look for other options on the market. When I look at the current situation with the Toronto Maple Leafs and the potential trade for Scott Laughton, I'm torn between the excitement of adding him to the team and the concerns about the difficulties this process might involve. Laughton is exactly the type of player Toronto could use, especially considering the gaps in their forward lines. His versatility and intensity would be an asset both offensively and defensively, and his ability to play center could help strengthen a position that has been unstable recently. However, it's impossible to ignore the situation in Philadelphia. The team is in a transitional phase, and Laughton has been a key figure in that process. For the Flyers, it would be difficult to part with a player who holds so much character and is immersed in the team's future. This puts the Leafs in a tricky spot, as it seems the trade with Philadelphia won't be easy, especially given the high price they would likely ask for Laughton. I truly believe that Laughton would be a perfect fit for the Leafs, but if I were Toronto's general manager, I might start thinking about alternatives. Sometimes patience is more valuable than acting impulsively. The Leafs already have a solid foundation of players, and strengthening the team can come in more strategic ways, without having to resort to a difficult and costly trade. In the end, my opinion is that Toronto should continue monitoring Laughton's situation, but not panic over him. The future is uncertain, but with the talent already present on the team and the options available on the market, a trade for Laughton shouldn't be the absolute priority. Of course, he'd be a fantastic addition, but there are other ways to improve the team without committing so much. The focus should be on finding a balance between patience and strategic action, knowing that the team can become even more competitive if they make the right choices at the right time. So, what do you think? Would Laughton be the ideal addition for the Leafs, or should Toronto look for another option to improve their forward lines? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's discuss.